time of 52.92, a new high school national record. Back to back to back to back state champions.
Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live from Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2018 NSAA Boys Basketball Championships. And we kick off this morning our day-long coverage of state championship action in Class C1 as it's the Wahoo Warriors taking on the Indians of Winnebago. And good morning, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker, and as he reminds me, former Nebraska Superstater Andy Markowski. It's great to have you with us for what will be a day long of state basketball championships right here on NET. Why don't we take a look at the upcoming schedule and see what we have in store? Of course, we kick it off this morning in Class C1 with Wahoo and Winnebago. D1 will follow Kennesaw and Lord Central Catholic. Scott back in the championship game in Class B. Should be a good one in Class C2. Ponca has been great all year. They'll take on St. Cecilia. The Class A matchup is #1 Prep and Bellevue West. They faced off earlier this year. Riverside and Falls City Sacred Heart. What stands out to you here, Andy?
Well, certainly Class A has been an unbelievable state tournament, so hopefully that final can live up to the previous first 2 days. Class B, you have a football rematch. Class D2, you have kind of an offensive and defensive battle. And then you have Ponca and Nebraska Lords that are looking to repeat titles. So an outstanding day of basketball, and it's going to be exciting to get this thing kicked off with a very good Winnebago Wahoo game to start things.
I was just going to say, we're going to kick it off with a lot of high-flying Winnebago action here in C1.
Certainly, Winnebago brings a tremendous amount of energy. They get that from their community, which is well supportive again this weekend. But they use a fun style of offense. They attack. They depend on a three. They had 10 threes in the semifinals to beat Broken Bow. Look for the senior backcourt of Montevideo, Cleveland, and Devon LaPointe. They had 52 points in the semifinals. They averaged 17 points apiece. They're going to be very key if they're going to beat Wahoo. For Wahoo, last year, they got beat in the state finals. They set the goal of getting back here to win a state championship. They've been the #1 team in Class C1 all season. They use balanced scoring. They have 5 players that average near double figures, but look for their 1-3-1 defense. They use that to be disruptive. Can Winnebago make threes? Can Wahoo turn Winnebago over and lead to transition? A great game and really 2 balanced teams that we're going to get the day started.
Should be a great way to start today in C1. It's the Warriors and the Indians. We'll find out who takes home the C1 title. It all begins when we come back on NET Sports.
Are you cool to flex fuel? 1 in 7 Nebraskans is driving a flex fuel vehicle, and many don't even realize it. With a flex fuel vehicle, you can fill up with any blend of American ethanol and gasoline, from E10 to E15, from E30 to E85, at any time in any amount. Look for an insignia on your trunk or tailgate. You might have a yellow gas cap, or check your owner's manual. If you're cool to flex fuel, then look for a flex fuel pump in your neighborhood. Flex fuel blends with American ethanol.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
It's Championship Saturday. It's the boys' state basketball tournament, the first of 6 state championship games. It's the Class C1 state title tilt. Winnebago taking on Wahoo. Hello again, everybody. I'm Andy Kendi. I will be bringing you the story from the sidelines all day long. But first, the first of 6 championship games and the first of 3 featuring 1 versus 2 matchups. Let's get the pregame festivities started. Let's send it over to Mr. Heath Kramer, the public address announcer.
On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association and its member schools, welcome to the 2018 NSAA Boys State Basketball Championships. The NSAA is proud to recognize its premier corporate partners, U.S. Bank, Farmers Mutual Insurance, Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, Nebraska Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and CHI Health St. Elizabeth. At this time, we welcome the Winnebago Singers to the floor. The Winnebago flag song is over 150 years old and equivalent to the national anthem. The song is composed by a Winnebago tribal member and is performed at many events today. Performing the Winnebago flag song today are the Winnebago Singers. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please remain standing, remove your hats to honor America as the Ashland Greenwood Mixed Octet, under the direction of Amy Krantz-Wentz, performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association and its member schools, welcome to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2018 NSAA Boys State Basketball Championships. This morning's Class C1 championship game features the number 2 seed, the 22-6 Winnebago Indians, and the number 1 seed, the 26-2 Wahoo Warriors. Now, for the introduction of players and coaches, we'll begin with the non-starters for Winnebago. Number 4, Bear Kennedy. Number 5, Jariah Gray Owl. Number 10, Edward Payer. Number 11, Lord Carnes. Number 23, Jarius Bass. Number 24, Bruce Proctor. Number 25, Caden Cleveland. And number 32, William Winchett. Here are the non-starters for Wahoo. Number 4, Trevin Lubin. Number 5, Blake Lacey. Number 13, Trey Sheaf. Number 21, Gerardo Chavez Madrid. Number 23, Cade Felix. Number 24, Thomas Wado. Number 25, Carson Hesser. Number 30, Nick Oden. And number 42, Winston Cook. And now, the starting lineup for the Winnebago Indians. A 5'11" senior, 0, Maurice Scott. A 5'11" senior, number 1, Devon LaPointe. A 6'2" senior, number 20, Makut's Little Voice. A 6'2" senior, number 22, Manape Cleveland. And a 6'6" senior, number 33, Lance Denny. The assistant coaches for Winnebago are Aaron LaPointe and Kenny Blackhawk. The head coach for the Winnebago Indians is Jeff Barrage. Now, the starting lineup for the Wahoo Warriors. A 6' senior, number 2, Billy Hancock. A 6'4" senior, number 3, Will Shanahan. A 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Brendan Lacey. A 6'3" senior, number 15, Cameron Quick. And a 5'9" senior, number 22, Dylan Egger. Assistant coaches for Wahoo are Mike Bomar, Robert Berry, Dan Waddle, and Max Cook. The Warriors head coach is Kevin Sheaf. Your officials today are Jake Wolf, Bo Hess, and Ken Marr. And the bench official is Brian Kribnow. And now, ladies And gentlemen, let's play championship basketball.
Well, here we go in Class C1. Winnebago, of course, just south of Homer, Nebraska, or right outside of South Sioux City. And Wahoo, a quick maybe 30-minute drive from here, 20 minutes if you drive like Andy Markowski. This is how they got here. Wahoo knocked off Ogallala in the first round, and then Lincoln Christian in the semifinals. Winnebago with wins over Syracuse and Broken Bow to make it to these championships. This Class C1 title is on the line, and you're going to see a pretty fast-paced game here. At least that's certainly the way the Winnebago would like this to go.
Yeah, and Wahoo is very capable of playing fast as well. Use their defense to create offense. Very good from the three-point line.
Jeff Barrage is the head coach of the Winnebago Indians. He's been there for 5 years, and in his 5 years with this team and leading this team, they have been down here at state 4 years and now in the title game for the second time. Ready for the tip. It'll be Lance Denny tipping off against Will Shanahan, controlled by the Warriors.
Winnebago will start in man-to-man defense. That's their primary defense they played most of the season.
Lacey dishes inside. Shanahan had a good look, rolls off the rim. Winnebago comes in 22-6 on the year. Jeff Barrage will tell you those 6 losses, as many as this team has had in the last 4 years, but he believes playing a tougher competition has really led them to this point, and also he felt like they've learned something throughout every loss this year.
Yeah, certainly you have to challenge your team, but the other thing is the state tournament's, Wahoo's traditional here, right? You mentioned state tournament, you mentioned Wahoo. Winnebago's been here 4 times. They've played Wahoo 3 out of the last 4 years, so the stage is not going to be too big for them.
Right. Wahoo knocked out Winnebago last year in the semifinals of this state tournament. The final in that game was 55-52. Winnebago actually had the lead most of the game. Their star player, Winjit, got an elbow, had to go get stitches in the middle of the game. Wahoo came back, got the momentum, and the Warriors ended up winning that game over Winnebago and knocking the Indians. And that hasn't been lost on Winnebago throughout this tournament and leading up to this game.
Wahoo with a good start. 2 possessions in a row defensively have forced Winnebago into tough shots.
Entry pass tried into Shanahan again. Turnover on the Warriors.
And this is what Wahoo does. You didn't see the other end. They use a turnover from Winnebago to get out in transition. Always looking ahead with the pass. Pass moves faster than a dribble for the easy bucket. You'll see Wahoo, we haven't mentioned it, traditionally a 1-3-1 team. Can play a little man-to-man, but you'll see a extended 1-3-1 here. Then they'll drop back into a half-court 1-3-1 defense. 1-3-1 makes you a passing team versus a dribbling team. Winnebago's going to have to make that adjustment. They do like to use the dribble penetration to create a lot of their three-point shots.
Second look in a row that the Winnebago team has had down low and not been able to convert.
See Lacey, Wahoo's leading scorer, averaging about 16 a game.
That will go off of the Warriors and out. Brendan Lacey with the drive, shot disrupted. Lance Denny down low. Denny a transfer into this Winnebago program this year. He was from South Sioux City. 3 off, rebound pulled down by Lacey. Turnover, strong to the basket and the foul. An and one opportunity for Devon LaPointe, the leading scorer for the Indians, one of 2 leading scorers.
And that's the pace that Winnebago wants to play at. Uses a defensive denial in the gap to get a steal. And then they can score points on the other end. As I mentioned, LaPointe, I think, had 25 in the semifinals. So very capable scorer that can keep Winnebago in this basketball game.
Off the front of the rim, rebound pulled down by Denny. Denny's given Winnebago something they not have had down here in recent years. That's a bigger, wider body down low. And there's Kenny laying it in.
Yeah, certainly defensively he can defend a post and rebound, and there you saw his effectiveness. To play against a 1-3-1, you need a high post, and I think Denny can be very effective in there against Wahoo's half-court defense.
Shot good by Shanahan on the drive. Opportunity for a three-point play now for the Warriors.
Yeah, really nice curl cut there by Shanahan. Nice reverse layup. Wahoo does a really good job. To be a good zone team, you have to be able to convert defensively and set your zone defense. They do a very good job of getting to their spots before the ball's able to get into offense. And
three from the corner, just off by Maurice Scott. Rebound, back up and in by McCoon's Little Voice.
One of the things I watched in the semis, I didn't know if Winnebago would be able to rebound with Wahoo. Pretty long, pretty physical. Winnebago's done a really good job, both defensively limiting Wahoo to one shot, as you see that possession, but offensively getting on the backboard and being able to create second chance points.
Kicked it back out. Open look here for Little Voice, just long. Rebound by Winston Cook, who is now in the game for the Warriors. Tipped away off the fingertips of the Warriors, and that'll be another turnover. Three early turnovers here for the Warriors. 6'4" Winnebago. There is Jeff Barrage.
Coach Barrage has done a really good job of getting Winnebago set up. They've had three open threes from the corner, which is traditionally the weak spot against a 1-3-1 defense, as that baseline defender has the most geography to cover. They've got to be able to go corner to corner. Unfortunately for Winnebago, they're 0 for 3, but just getting those open threes in that corner tells me that they've, without a lot of prep time, that's the difficulty with the state tournament format. You get a lot of prep time leading into game 1, but then game 2 and 3, you're on the fly.
Timeout on the floor. Winnebago on top here early on. The Bago boys leading it 6-4 over Wahoo.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit. That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
FFA's vision is to build leaders, grow communities, and strengthen agriculture. The funds from Constellation will most likely be directed to one of those areas. But most importantly, people need to know that it is at the local level. It's helping local chapters.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena, C1 State Championship game. Winnebago leading Wahoo 6-4. These are the Winnebago cheerleaders, and you notice a very wide range of ages. The two youngest are kindergartners, Aubrielle and Layla. Aubrielle's the daughter of head coach Jeff Barrage, and Layla's the daughter of assistant coach Kenny Blackhawk. And I tell you what, at 9:22, you need all the cheering you can get to get you going in this state championship game.
In transition again, pushing the pace and the lay-in and the bucket.
Yeah, that's been Wahoo's best offense, using a defensive steal out to a transition layup to tie it at 6.
Cleveland, good pass down low, left hand off the glass, the bucket by Maurice Scott.
A really nice job of making that diagonal pass against the 1-3-1.
Boys tips that out. There is Kevin Sheaf in his 17th season, 316 and 97. Look at this tournament history for the Warriors. It is a culture in Wahoo around basketball. 37 trips to the state tournament. 10 state championships, the last coming in 2013. Of course, the Warriors were in this title game last year in what was a crosstown or intra-city battle with Wahoo Newman. Wahoo Newman won that going away 80-57. Good feed down low there to even it at 8. Jarius Earth with the three-pointer. Check that was Cleveland. Montepay Cleveland with that three-pointer. Sorry, Montepay. Cameron Quick then with the bucket there.
Yeah, 2 really good possessions by Wahoo. Able to use the dribble drive to get points in the paint. Starting to be the offensive pace that we've expected with it getting now to 11-10 Winnebago.
Yep. Lance Denny with the basket inside. Good feed from Maurice Scott. You can see Scott does a nice job in creating with his penetration. Looks like maybe they called a charge there. We talked about Winnebago's tournament history. 15th appearance at state, 3rd time in the finals, but they hadn't won it since 1940 when they won it in 2015. This is their 4th trip into the finals in the last, 2nd trip in the last 4 years. 3 on the way, rattled out. Good position by Shanahan. Transition again. They do a nice job in getting out in transition. Quick with the lay-in. And then a quick foul.
Yeah, not only do they see and throw the ball ahead, but it's important that post players learn to run, and you'll see Quick here recognizes that he's out in front, and it's, once posts start figuring out they'll throw the ball to you, they run a little faster, and Quick got the beneficiary of that pass.
The point three-pointer is just long. Here's Winston Cook with the drive. Nice speed, and the bucket by Quick.
Yeah, Wahoo had 3 early turnovers, the first 5 possessions of the game. They've really settled in with their half-court offense, using the dribble drive to not score themselves, but make that extra pass to get buckets in the paint.
And forcing the turnover there. Once again, and the travel. Had it in transition, 1 too many steps for Winston Cook.
Yeah, just kind of bobbled the pass, which, kind of a very quick play to handle the basketball. But once again, used a steal there. You see Quick with the inside bucket. This is where Winnebago's got to be disciplined. They want to play fast, but when Wahoo sets their defense, they've got to be very patient, work the ball around, not just depend on threes, but find some baskets in the paint. Denny had a nice high-low bucket. They need to utilize that high post.
And the turnover. Now Winnebago with 3 turnovers. And 2 in the last 3 possessions. Inside 30 seconds here in period number 1. Shot is long. Rebound. Good dribble by Cleveland. Montepay Cleveland.
A really nice job by Winnebago on the offensive backboard. That's their 12th point in the paint.
Wow.
For a team that depended on the 3 to making 10 threes in the semi have figured out a way to be effective against Wahoo's zone inside.
Shot on the way, just at the buzzer is off. Tip is no good. And that's where we are after 1 period of play. Winnebago on top, 15-14, 8 minutes gone. We'll come back for the 2nd period here in Lincoln.
talk about public power for a second. Nebraska's electric utilities use a diverse mix of fuel resources to generate electricity. Wind, water, coal, nuclear, natural gas, solar, and methane. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities pay more than $100 million to communities they serve each year? Those dollars stay local, helping to empower our hometowns. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Not just on the good days. Not just on the challenging ones. Not just during business hours. Or when relaxing. But always. For the past 125 years, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena in the Class C1 title game. Hey, I want to remind you, you can watch the NET Sports app anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app today. You can watch college player profiles, full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams. There's a lot of content, so search for NET Nebraska in the App Store, or you can download it free from our website at netnebraska.org/apps. Down low, knocked away from Denny. You see the points in the paint. Wahoo with 14, Winnebago with 12. Both of these teams not afraid to work the ball around, find the open look inside. Knocked down the three-pointer on the shot by Blake Lacey.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Chief at that quarter timeout, you're really talking about taking better care of the basketball. Wahoo with 7 first quarter turnovers, which for a team that had that state title experience, that's pretty abnormal stat, and I'm sure he tried to get them calmed down at the quarter.
Floater by LaPointe. Hard off the glass. Three on the way. Dylan Eggers' three is off. Rebound by Denny.
Winnebago with the 2-guard front with the odd zone of Wahoo.
Denny with the reaching foul.
So Wahoo does a really nice job of reversing the ball there. Blake Lacey, so important to be shot ready, had his hands and feet ready to shoot. You know, the other advantage of that is to get that bench contribution.
There's Lacey. Say no touch on Winnebago. It will be the Indians' ball. Shanahan thought somebody got a piece of it. There's Cleveland with an open three off the back of the rim. Good example there. Follow the shot that's right in his hand. Spin move inside. Nice move by Brendan Lacey, who leads the team with 16.5 points per game. One of the best pure shooters on the team. Coach Chief says one of the best shooters he's ever coached is Brendan Lacey.
Yeah, it's going to be important for Wahoo to get Lacey going. Nice job of using the spin dribble, being unbalanced, not being out of control. And Lacey's a player that has improved, you know, played a little bit as a sophomore and then as a junior improved. Yeah. Now is really the leading scorer and one of the captains of the team.
Lacey with the rebound there. He's heading likely either to Briarcliff or Doane to play basketball. That's a good shot down low by Winston Cook. Checked up by Shanahan.
$20 points in the paint now for Wahoo. Certainly a good recipe for success when you're able to get the ball in there and score. And now you see the pressure is starting to pick up on the defensive end.
Largest lead of the game right now here for the Warriors at 21-15.
Well, who's done a good job of scoring on the offensive end. What that does is take Winnebago out of transition, allows you to set your defense.
Down low to Denny, and Denny is fouled by Lacey, and that will put him at the line for an opportunity for the three-point play. 6 team fouls now on the Warriors. Checking into the game now for Wahoo is Billy Hancock.
And that was Lacey's second foul, so certainly a big play in the second quarter with 5:19 to go. Lacey being Wahoo's leading scorer, as we mentioned.
Oh, foul there on Maurice Scott on the push on Shanahan. Rebound to LaPointe. LaPointe will take it himself. Foul called on Will Shanahan. That's the 7th team foul.
And this is how Winnebago would like to play. They use kind of a long defensive rebound, and they're not going to walk the basketball up. They're going to get out in transition. And LaPointe able to get foul, almost a three-point play. You know, Wahoo's playing a fairly large lineup with Quick and Cook out on the floor with as the post. Even Shanahan at 6'4". So can Wahoo win with their size, or can Winnebago, force that size to run the floor and play a more transition game?
Nice block there by Denny. And it goes off of Wahoo and out.
You mentioned it. Denny's transferred into Winnebago, having a very big presence in this game. Not only his defensive presence blocking shots, defensive rebounds, but he's found a way to score in the paint as well.
Bit of a scramble there, but they got it to Winston Cook for the lay-in. Timeout called by Jeff Barrage. You saw Devon LaPointe, after hitting those 2 free throws, hard to the ground there as he tried to split the defense and then had the turnover. 23-19, Wahoo on top here by 4. Well, sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school and collegiate sports than any other Nebraska network. For more information on dates, times, and available webcasts, you can visit netnebraska.org. Time now to visit in with the other Andy with us this afternoon. Let's go over to Andy Kindy.
Larry, Wahoo has a proud tradition not only in basketball, but they got a terrific football team too. And a couple players that are key players for the basketball team also played football. Cameron Quick, number 15. Number 22, Ryan Egger, was an outstanding, one of the best running backs in the state of Nebraska this past year. And number 10, Brandon Lacey, was a wide receiver. And Kevin Sheep, the head coach for basketball, said he encourages all of his players to play multiple sports, including football. The Warriors went 10-2 this season. Those 2 losses, both to eventual state champ Norfolk Catholic. Brandon Lacey says those losses stick with you, and he's driven, he said, to, quote, get a ring.
That football nature can certainly help. This is a physical Wahoo team defensively. 3-pointer.
A big shot coming out of the timeout. Good. You want to utilize your timeouts and then see execution on the other side of it, which the Winnebago did for their second 3-pointer of the game.
Little floater off balance, but Lance Denny finds a way to put it in.
Nice 5-0 run.
And a 9-2 run.
9-2 run. Certainly Coach Sheaf, since his momentum changing, as Brendan Lacey's waiting to come back into the game with 2 fouls. So obviously, important stretch of the basketball game.
tipped out by Winnebago. Right out of the timeout, let's look at that last three-pointer. An open look for Scott.
So important that you have trust with your seniors, that you can trust that they can play through foul trouble, not reach in and get a cheap one.
.250 to go here before halftime. 24-23. Winnebago in the middle of a 9-2 run. Shot again by Marie Scott. That's off. Right back into the game and firing away is Lacey. And that's why they need him in the game, offense.
Yeah, only his 4th point of the half, so certainly they like to see him get going a little bit more offensively. Coach Chief is protecting him, moving him up to the top of the zone, which is, you know, a little less traffic there. Hopefully not picking up a cheap foul.
Maurice Scott with another bucket. Maurice had 16 in the semis against Syracuse. Another 3 from Lacey. And a rebound to Scott, who's been very active here out of that last time out. Denny rebound back up strong.
Yeah, Winnebago doesn't play a lot of players. Scott is really the first player off the bench. And so far has been the only sub that Winnebago has played off the bench. So certainly maybe fatigue could be a factor as this game winds on.
Open look. Hancock rebound to Cleveland. Shot was off by Cleveland. Lacey with the drive. Nice job to tip it out, keep it alive. Quick fired that out. Another good job of rebounding, that time by Winston Cook, and the foul will be called on Winnebago.
Just the 4th team foul for Winnebago, so Wahoo will be taking that in-line out of bounds.
Eddie Payer commits the foul, and now he will take a seat. Back into the game comes McCoon's little voice. Nice job of regathering by LaPointe to put it in. Points off turnovers, Winnebago on top by 3. Over the back is going to be called on Winston Cook. And that will put Winnebago at the line, shooting 1-1. 8th team foul on the Warriors.
That's Cook's 2nd. Certainly second Wahoo player to pick up 2 fouls in the first half. I think Wahoo will hold for 1 shot. In high school basketball, with the amount of quarters and half, this is such an important possession for Wahoo. I don't think they feel like they've played well. They're down 3. You know, you get the last possession, then they're going to get the first possession of the second half. So you have a chance to go on a little 5-0 run here. These are such important momentum possessions of high school basketball.
Time running out, tipped around. 2.6 to get a shot off.
Plenty of time to catch, utilize 1 or 2 dribbles, so certainly ample time to get a good shot here.
Just off at the buzzer on the shot by Lacey. 2 periods are in the books. Winnebago on top 28-25 on top of the Wahoo Warriors. Andy Kindy is with the head coach of the Winnebago Indians, Jeff Barrage. Let's go over to Andy.
Coach, you finished the half with a 13-4 run. Impressive play inside. Were you happy with getting the ball down low?
Yeah, shots weren't falling, so we're looking down low. The short corner's there, so we just got to finish some bunnies. We missed a lot of bunnies there, so we make bunnies. We're up bigger.
How do you keep your kids settled down for the second half?
Just calm down. All season we've been a second half team, so hopefully it comes through today, and we should be able to pull this one out if we calm down and make easy buckets.
All right, good luck in the second half. Coach Jeff Barrage, his team leads by 3, Larry.
Halftime of this C1 title game, the Winnebago Indians on top of the Wahoo Warriors. It's 28-25. Halftime entertainment coming when we come back.
What should you do if you see an emergency vehicle while you're driving through a roundabout? Traffic in the roundabout should not stop. Signal your turn to the right when you exit the roundabout. Exit the roundabout before pulling over to allow an emergency vehicle to pass. Please, for more information, visit the website.
The values that Methodists bring is family.
It's important going through school that you're not just a number, that you're a face and that you're a name to a teacher. And so I loved the small class sizes.
What it means to me is that I found my foundation where I can build on my passion and I can embrace something new in my life. It is a place where I know that I'm supposed to be.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Boys Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Education Quest, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Nebraska Public Power District, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Winnebago leads Wahoo in the Class C1 state championship game 28-25. Let's take a quick look back at what happened in last year's Class C1 championship game.
The Bishop Neumann Cavaliers cruised to win back-to-back Class C1 state championships after shutting down the Wahoo Warriors 80-57. The 23-point winning margin was the largest in 33 years of C1 championship games, and the 80 points the most scored by a winning team in the Class C1 final since 1994. Wahoo kept up with the Cavaliers in the first half and were down by 9 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. But Bishop Neumann proved to be too much of a test for the Wahoo Warriors as they answered with 2 3-pointers and built a double-digit lead the rest of the game. The convincing victory gave the Bishop Neumann Cavaliers back-to-back Class C1 state titles.
Halftime here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Winnebago leading Wahoo 28-25 in the Class C1 championship game, flanked by 2 very handsome gentlemen. Jim Tennifer of the NSAA is the executive director, and Jay Beller, who is going to be the new executive director. Let's first start with you, Jim. As your tenure with the NSAA comes to a close, what are you most proud of about your time with the NSAA?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of high points and a lot of points that probably aren't things to write home about, but we've done a lot of things in improving the quality of participation for young people, and that's probably number 1 on my list. We've tried to do things to not only provide things for the varsity athlete, but also to incorporate things for students with disabilities, and you know, it's our program of offering for kids has expanded, and I really believe that the 12 years that I've been with the NSA, it's really been, we've seen that growth, and I think that going forward with Jay, I think they'll just continue to see more growth in that area.
Do you have any legislation in the interim during the transition that you'd like to see passed?
Well, I don't know if there's anything we'd like to see passed. We've worked on a lot of things in providing opportunities for homeschool students. We've done things with regard to transgender, which wasn't always popular, but that's a part of the participation. We do have a bowling proposal that is before our membership here in April. I don't know whether that will pass or not, but certainly with our unified bowling, I think that there are a lot of schools who would like to see the varsity bowling come forward.
Great program, no question about it. Jay, let me ask you, what kind of initiatives do you have going forward as you start a new era in the NSAA?
Well, I don't think I have any initiatives. I think we're going to try to carry on what Dr. Tenneper and the staff have done. They've done a great job and provide all the possibilities for kids we can.
What do you hope in terms of personality-wise and leadership that you will bring during your 20 years at Battle Creek, and what have you learned that will carry over to leadership in the NSAA?
Well, hopefully just to listen to the people at the schools. They provide direction in which way we want to go, and we'll always be cognizant of what they want and to provide opportunities for kids.
And when you look at these championships, not just basketball, boys basketball, girls basketball, swimming, or what have you, what impresses you the most about championship season?
This is the great part about what we do. We get to see the crowds from all the different schools come in and enjoy in this, and it's just a great atmosphere.
Congratulations and best of luck to you as we move forward in a new era in the NSAA. Jim Tenneper and Jay Beller, the NSAA Executive Directors, outgoing and incoming. It's halftime of the C1 Championship game. Winnebago leading Wahoo 28-25.
With the Aurora Cooperative, you have a trusted partner who looks well beyond the horizon. We're putting our owner's equity to work every day by anticipating what you'll need tomorrow, creating what's next for your farm. A portfolio of innovation that supports every aspect of your operation, and an unwavering commitment to your success, however you measure it.
My farm, my cooperative, my future.
The Aurora Cooperative.
Head trauma and concussion risk minimization is a priority of the NSAA. When in doubt, sit them out.
Some common symptoms of concussions are dizziness, confusion, and nausea.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course annually.
For more information regarding concussion management and return to play protocol, visit our website, nsaahome.org. When in doubt, sit them out.
Earning my shield means...
It means I'm always moving forward.
Never stopping, always learning.
It means rising to the challenge of my ambition.
Earning my shield means having the confidence to hold my own with anyone from anywhere.
It means more opportunities for me and my children.
Earning my shield means it's never too early or late to set goals. What does it mean to earn your shield? I found out it don't.
I think the cooperative system means to me is getting people together and trying to come up with a good for the whole.
We're a team because we're striving to be good stewards to the land. Without team, you have nothing. It's not what I can do, it's not what you can do, but it's what we can do together. And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Our halftime score, 28-25, Winnebago on top of Wahoo, along with Andy Markowski. I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us back here at PBA for this C1 title game. I don't think either one of us believe that, and probably the coaches don't believe that either team has played a really clean first half.
No, and it hasn't really played out like we thought.
No, you're right.
Talked about the three-point line. Teams were 3 of 22 from the three, so certainly struggling, but they figured out a way to get 38 of the 53 points in the paint. So very different than what we thought. We knew it was going to be a close game. It certainly has played out to do that. You see Wahoo using transition, using their defense to get out into early offense. Leading this some transition baskets. There you see Cook with the run out. Here you'll see Lacey, Wahoo's leading scorer, which really struggled in the first half. Only 4 points, was in foul trouble late in the second quarter. It'll be important to get him going. There you see Cameron Quick again with 8 points leading Wahoo.
Cleveland with the three-pointer there to keep the Indians alive.
Yeah, Winnebago did a nice job there. You see two of their only three-pointers, but they did a nice job of not only using their defense, forcing Wahoo into 8 turnovers, which is atypical for a very seasoned Wahoo team. As we mentioned, offensively, both teams are struggling. Winnebago, 38%, 2 of 12 from the three-point line, 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Both teams are very even in rebounds, with Winnebago 20, Wahoo 24. But the difference in the basketball game is Wahoo has turned it over 8 times, and Winnebago's used that to lead to their 8 points off turnovers.
Let's go to Andy Kinney. He's with Kevin Sheaf.
Kevin, your team 7 turnovers in the first half, 7 turnovers in the first quarter, 8 in the first half. How do you have your team take a collective deep breath?
You know, we just got to settle down, take care of the ball. You know, things are going pretty well the first quarter and a half, and we kind of lost our ball movement down the stretch in that second quarter. So we got to do a better job of moving the ball, making great cuts. Talked at halftime, you know, yesterday we didn't have a great second quarter. We regrouped at halftime, took a deep breath, and came out and took control. We need to do the same today.
Winnebago looked like they capitalized going inside, which isn't really their forte.
They did. They can score in a lot of ways. They're a good offensive team, so we got to tighten up our D, and we fell asleep on the backside a couple times. We can't let that happen.
Well, the good news, you still have 2 quarters to play. Good luck in the second half. Coach Kevin Sheaf, his Wahoo Warriors, trailing by 3 in the Class C1 state championship game. Second half action from Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska, straight ahead.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
Programming on NET Television is provided in part by the Dr. Tom and Dorothy Hallstrom Inspire Nebraska Athletics Endowment.
NET Sports provides 200 hours of local Nebraska high school sports and collegiate sports each year, more than any other Nebraska network. On air or online, NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Boys Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Aurora Cooperative, Constellation, Nebraska Corn Board, Doane University, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena, C1 title game, ready for the final 16 minutes here. Second half action coming your way, 28-25. Winnebago leading at the half. Warriors will start it off with the ball here in the second half. Quick look down low, could not find the cutting Shanahan. 3 on the way from Hancock. Rebound by Quick. And stripped away.
Winnebago started in man-to-man, which they played in the first half, and you're going to see Wahoo stay in the 1-3-1 that they played majority of the first half as well.
Goes out off of the Warriors. Three rattles around. Rebound to Shanahan.
Chief mentioned would like to see a little bit more ball movement, which, you know, the ball needs to touch both sides of the court. So far, that possession it has, and there you see a layup. Very good possession by Wahoo, getting the ball reversed, and then using the dribble to attack into the lane.
Shanahan with the bucket. Back to within 1. Open look there, passed up by Cleveland. Right back to him, won't pass it up twice though, and knocks it in. Montepe Cleveland. Montepe in Winnebago means Warrior. He's knocked down a couple of threes here, and a foul will be called underneath on McCoon's little voice. Look at the 2 buckets here in the second half.
Winnebago got a lot of open threes from that corner in the first half, didn't make any, made both from the wings, and that time they were able to get open on the baseline, and Cleveland took advantage of it.
One of the consistent themes for Winnebago in their 4 trips at state as a three-pointer knocked down there. Back-to-back threes for the Indians. Maurice Scott hits that one. Consistent theme has been just trying to gain respect. So long they felt like Winnebago had not been a factor in high school basketball, and respect seemed to be the theme. But Jeff Barrage talked yesterday about how that's beginning to change. They come down here and he said folks all over are talking to him, saying, "Hi, Coach, how you doing? Good to see you again." People he doesn't even know. And he says they're trying to rechannel that and use not a lack of respect, but the fact that everybody is after them now because they're the team with the target on their back.
No doubt, and consistency is hard to do. I mean, this is a completely different group than was there 4 years ago, and now you're seeing players like Scott, which really didn't contribute a lot. He's come in with 10 points, so it's just a culture that Coach Barrage has built, and it's great that he is getting recognized because it's not an easy thing to do to get teams, back to back to back to the state tournament, and he deserves to be recognized.
Open three from McCoots. McCoots Little Voice hit the third three for the Indians. They call him Bear in Winnebago. And Bear knocks down a big one. McCoots Little Voice with the three-pointer. 3 early threes here in this second half for Winnebago, and they've opened it up to the largest lead of the game. It's at 10, 37-27. Let's look at that three again by McCoots Little Voice.
And Winnebago becomes really difficult to defend. As I mentioned, Cleveland and LaPointe had 52 points in the semifinals. You focus on those two, and then Scott and Little Voice now hit back-to-back threes. So now you have 4 players that you have to be cognizant of. It stretches the zone. And now look for somebody like a Denny to be able to maybe take advantage on the inside. But certainly if you're Winnebago, you couldn't ask for a better start to the third quarter. You struggled from the three-point line in the first half, and now you've come out and already made more than what you made in the entire first half. And now you feel that Winnebago energy, the crowd's into the game, the confidence is up from the team on the floor. Wahoo just has to settle in and start defending again.
Denny called with the foul. His second personal foul. They're going to have Lance Denny, who's bleeding from the lip you saw there on that shot.
Really nice job by Blake Lacey keeping the ball in his left hand against pressure. Was able to create a scoring opportunity. Good effort by Denny to challenge the shot. I think he took the worst of it though, catching an elbow in the lip. These are big free throws for Winston Cook, just to kind of calm everybody down, find a way to get on the scoreboard.
Yep.
Allows you, if you make the second one, allows you to set your defense, take Winnebago out of transition.
Jeff Barrage said last year this was a very physical game, expected much of the same here today. Point hands it off to Scott. Little floater in the lane off the front of the rim. Scott with his own rebound. Goes back up strong. Rebound again. The turnaround in the paint not good. Another rebound. 3 offensive rebounds for the Indians. And they get the putback in a quick timeout called by Barrage.
And that's probably been the biggest surprise for me is I really thought Winnebago was going to struggle on the backboard against Wahoo. There was only a 4 rebound differential at halftime, and there you see Winnebago with 4 offensive rebounds on 1 possession. So certainly Coach Sheaf is not going to be happy with that. But you mentioned the physicality of the basketball game. Winnebago has been able to match that of Wahoo. You couple that with 3-point shooting in the 3rd quarter, and that's why it's a 9-point game. Or, excuse me, 11-point game.
Yeah. Well, good time for you here to connect with us on Facebook or Twitter. You can add a comment, catch up on the latest Nebraska sports information. Be sure to like NET Sports, and while you're at it, like Big Red Wrap-Up as well, and join the conversation on Facebook and on Twitter. 11-point Winnebago lead. Wahoo needs to get something going here in this 3rd period. They've only put 3 points on the board, and a 3 up top is off. And a rebound again by the Indians, who, as you said, Andy, have done a nice job both on the offensive and defensive boards.
Yeah, part of that is, 6 second chance points so far here in the 3rd quarter.
Both teams with 28 total rebounds and an equal number of offensive and defensive rebounds, ironically. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. 4:11 to go here in period number 3. Winnebago on top, 39-28 in this C1 title game.
Are you cool to flex fuel? 1 in 7 Nebraskans is driving a flex fuel vehicle, and many don't even realize it. With a flex fuel vehicle, you can fill up with any blend of American ethanol and gasoline, from E10 to E15, from E30 to E85, at any time in any amount. Look for an insignia on your trunk or tailgate. You might have a yellow gas cap, or check your owner's manual. If you're cool to flex fuel, then look for a flex fuel pump in your neighborhood. Flex fuel blends with American ethanol.
Parents, safe teen driving begins with you. When you are supportive and involved with your teen driver, you can reduce their risk of being in a crash by half. Parents can set driving rules and be role models for safe driving. Driving the right message begins with you. More information on keeping your teen driver safe is available at parentsdrivethemessage.ne.gov. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services Injury Prevention Program.
Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena, 3rd quarter action, 39-28, Winnebago on top. And we saw during that last timeout, one of the officials, Bo Hess, walk over and talk to a couple of players and said, okay, let's just relax. Let's watch it a little bit, calm down. We're starting to get a little heated, the physicality. I think both of these teams coming off of last year's very physical game. Travel called down low by Cleveland. Turnover for the Indians.
Yeah, nice job by officiating, or by the official crew. It's, you want to stay ahead of it, on top of it. You don't want to be a factor in the game, so certainly that warning. But I love the competition. Yeah. This is what these kids have worked hard for. Wahoo sat here and stewed on a state final loss a year ago. They're going to fight to get back into this, and Winnebago certainly has the confidence to capture another state title themselves.
Picked up with a loose ball. Maurice Scott with a little left-handed floater in the lane gets it to go.
Yeah, he's been having a tremendous game. 12 points. Averages only 7 on the season, so well above his season average.
So many times in these games, that's what you need, right? Who's that guy that's going to step up? You expect it out of your top players.
Yeah, absolutely. As a coach, really, you don't have a lot of time to go through sets or what they do offensive, defensively, but you do have time to talk personnel, right? So you focus on 1 or 2 key players, and then all of a sudden, Scott doesn't get majority of the talk, and now all of a sudden he's been a big factor of this game. So to your point, Larry, sometimes that's the difference of winning and losing with those role players having big nights.
Great reverse lay-in by Brendan Lacey off of the pickup of the loose ball.
Yeah, Lacey's going to have a big finish to the 3rd quarter and 4th quarter here if Wahoo's going to get back into it. Winnebago's done a nice job defending him, limiting his opportunities. I think the other key point is Winnebago has to stay aggressive offensively. They've been able to get the ball into the paint and score. Don't fall in love with 3-point shots. Stay aggressive. If it's there, take it. If not, find a way to get into the teeth of that Wahoo defense and score.
Good steal by Dylan Egger. Lacey thought about it. Now Egger back up top. And no reset. Long 3 by Lacey. Goes off the hand of Quick. Winnebago ball. The Wahoo right now on a 4-0 run. Let's take a look at the last two.
Good aggressive drive there by Winston Cook, and then you see Lacey with tremendous amount of skill, not only going to the far side, but using your left hand to finish on the reverse. And you'll see Wahoo, they went out of their 1-3-1. They've played the last few possessions man-to-man. I think Coach Sheaf is looking for some energy, maybe a change to get Wahoo going on the offensive side. And sometimes a defensive change can generate that energy.
Once again in transition. Good pass down low, finished by Shanahan. Nice ball movement in transition.
You see Wahoo's crowds into it. Certainly the defensive change, I think, has helped. That's a 6-0 run now for Wahoo to cut this lead to 5. Coach Sheaf mentioned, in the pregame how they have played more man-to-man defense this season. They've traditionally been a 1-3-1, but this group has been able to go man-to-man, and you'll see that really nice job of Cook making an extra pass. I felt Wahoo has been too quick on offense. They've settled for maybe jump shots. When they've attacked and made the extra pass, they've looked really good on offense.
Another turnover for Winnebago. Here's Quick. 8-0 run for the Warriors. Now a 3-point game as we tick down near a minute here in the third. Foul on the floor. Before the shot, it will be called on Billy Hancock. Second team foul and also the second personal foul on Hancock.
A strong finish there by Quick.
Montepay Cleveland.
Good possession by Winnebago, still able to get the ball into the paint. Find a high percent bucket.
Foul there on Little Voice. I believe that's going to be his 4th personal foul. It is 4 on Little Voice, so now he's going to have to be very careful. And it looks like they will sub in for Little Voice. Eddie Payer, this is a team in Winnebago, as you said earlier, that does not substitute often. In a win earlier this year against Ponca, in fact, the only loss Ponca, who will be in a state final later today, the only loss Ponca's had this year was against this Winnebago team. And in that game, Winnebago went the entire game without subbing once. So they're used to staying in the game, getting up and down the floor. Well-conditioned group.
Yeah, but they also don't have to play 3 games back to back, right. So you wonder if that's going to, not only conditioning and fatigue. I think that's a huge issue for Winnebago because Little Voice is their second biggest player, and Wahoo's done a really nice job with, Cook and Quick scoring buckets in the paint. So look for that as maybe being a factor going into this 4th quarter with Wahoo able to get to the get the ball to the point, to the bucket more, and certainly it's going to help Wahoo cut into the 6-point deficit.
Billy Hancock committed that last foul. He now has 3 for Wahoo. Quick with the down low, double teamed. Back to Egger, now they'll reset. Foul called on Winnebago's Eddie Payer. Scramble after the loose ball, a little push.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Certainly, hustle play.
Yeah,
but you can't dive and take out another player's legs, preventing them for the opportunity to get a basketball. We mentioned Maurice Scott's impact on Winnebago. Winston Cook is a double figure score in the regular season, but certainly not probably the player that you highlight for Wahoo. He's been their leading scorer so far in this game with 12.
Egger throws one up and knocks it in. Dylan Egger with a 3-pointer. Just before the buzzer. And Wahoo cuts that lead They were down at one point by 11. It's back to a 3-point game, 45-42. Winnebago with the lead. 8 minutes to go before we crown a champ in Class C1. Come back for the finish here in Lincoln.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together.
The money that comes from Constellation goes directly back into our county 4-H program. So they're directly impacting young people and the development of young people, whether that's leadership development, citizenship development, or helping them develop life skills.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Winnebago leads Wahoo by 3, start of the fourth quarter. You see a couple of young men at the end of the Wahoo bench. Those are student managers, 5th, 6th, and 7th graders in Wahoo. I asked Kevin Sheep, does he have to go recruit kids? And they said, no, they come to me. In fact, Dylan Egger, Will Shanahan, and Billy Hancock all were student managers back when they were middle schoolers in 2013. That was that great 29-0 undefeated Wahoo squad, and they wanted to do it as players, so they stuck around.
Well, Andy talked about it off the top. It's just the tradition of Wahoo basketball, whether it's Newman or Wahoo. You can drive through that town and you're going to see kids shooting all day long. It's just part of that culture in Wahoo.
Yeah, it's important to them. You know, every town kind of has their identity. You know, it can be a different sport, but for Wahoo, it's basketball. They live it. Parents talk about it, and kids grow up, you know, wanting to be it. And that's a great example of just the. It passes down from generation to generation, and you know, I remember Wahoo, you know, in the early '90s, and played with Jason Glock and the, you know, all that crew, Mike Hancock, which you know, was a relation to Billy Hancock. It just goes on and on and on about the stories, and everybody wants to be a part of it, and it's been fun to watch from afar.
Bit of history happening here this week at State. You know, you talked about those 90 teams, and it was that 114-game winning streak that Wahoo had that ended in 1992. That they lost to Ogallala, and they, for the first time since '92, they played Ogallala down here at State, beat them in that first round.
And I'm sure the kids knew they played Ogallala.
Oh, of course they did.
Those stories have been told as well. So
you're darn right.
Great start by Wahoo out of the quarter to cut it to 1.
Foul on the drive. That will put Devon LaPointe at the line. Cook with the foul.
Yeah, Winston Cook's done a really good job of working, you know, that baseline, finding baskets. As I mentioned, was the leading scorer at 12, and now obviously still leading scorer with 14 points in the game.
So that last foul check that was called on Brendan Lacey, that is his 3rd personal foul. So the leading scorer for the Warriors will go to the bench for a time, and now has 4, just picked up another one.
Yeah, certainly unfortunate for Brendan being in foul trouble most of the game.
Good drive by Montepay Cleveland, and the foul, so Cleveland will go to the line.
Montepay has been in double figures in the state tournament with 10 so far in this state championship game.
Right now, just 2 of 6 from, so got 4 of 8 from the free throw line for Winnebago. second one is good to make it a 2-point game.
And we'll see if Wahoo can keep the basketball moving. They certainly have had better possessions in the second half than they did the first half. Nice cut.
Great pass. Cook right there to put it in.
That's going to put Winnebago into bonus. Both teams will be shooting free throws for the remainder of the quarter.
1-1 now for Devon LaPointe.
Yeah, just amazing what, if you just cut on the offensive end, how many opportunities it can create for yourself. It's always hard to do when fatigue starts to get in. It's easier to stand on offense than cut. But Cook's done a really nice job of being active on the offensive end for Wahoo.
Free throw long.
Could be a big story of the game. 5 of 11 now.
Nice save. 3 on the way. Hancock off the front of the rim. Chases down his own rebound and then off of Hancock's foot.
Great hustle by Cameron Quick. Unfortunately for Wahoo, couldn't secure the scramble. Wahoo's going to stay in their man-to-man defense that they went to in the middle of the third to get them back in the basketball game.
LaPointe creating the opportunity. And Denny finishes it. Good drive by Winston Cook. He'll go to the line.
LaPointe did a nice job of drawing a secondary defender. Just get into the paint. Cameron Quick might have helped up a little bit. You got to be careful not to chase up at the ball, which allows your offensive player to catch behind you and get an easy basket. But credit the penetration and decision making of LaPointe. You knew this was going to be a competitive, hard-fought game, and it certainly has lived up to that. 48-47. Probably both teams feel they could play better, but sometimes each team being really talented makes it look like you're not playing well. You got to credit both teams' effort and defense.
Been a bit more clean here in the second half as well.
It has been. Shots are going in, and the pace has been a little better.
Foul called on Blake Lacey. That's his second foul. Third personal foul, but second foul he's had here in trying to guard LaPointe.
Yeah, Winnebago has done a really good job of using dribble penetration. Maybe look for Coach Sheaf to go back to the zone, which takes some of that dribble drive away. Now that it's a one-point game, could be a strategy he implements.
Timeout called by the Warriors. There is Kevin Sheaf, 17 years on the bench for Wahoo. Coached at Shickley before that, at David City Aquinas. Better than 430 wins in his career. Coached both of his boys in state finals. Ben was a senior, Jake was a junior. Well, if you love watching high school sports on NAT, with your generous donation to NAT, you help us produce more than 200 hours of sports programming each year. Show your support by joining the NAT Sports Partners Club. Just $10 a month and we'll send you an exclusive NAT Sports Partners Club fleece jacket. Get your NAT jacket, call 800-634-6788 or visit netnebraska.org/donate. At the line is LaPointe, 1-1.
The free throw gets Winnebago back over the 50% mark. Knocks the second one in as well.
Winston Cook. Cook with 19 points.
Nice possession by Wahoo, putting pressure on Little Voice, which has 4 fouls. Isolated Cook on the block. I thought Coach Chief would go back to the zone, and he did. And now 1-3-1. Sometimes this change forces teams to be a little bit more stagnant than what they were against man, and can be a very effective change. That's a really tough foul. That's going to be Lacey's 5th foul on a hustle play.
Wow.
Just a scramble situation. Lacey's hustling. Same call that was on Winnebago's hustle earlier in the quarter. Just both teams playing really hard, and unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time, and going to foul the basketball game.
So the leading scorer for the Warriors on the year, Brendan Lacey, has fouled out.
Putting the point back on the line where he was just 2 out of 2. He's 7-9 now for the basketball game, so he's certainly comfortable there and is having success. The old announcer curse never fails.
Halfway through this final quarter, 51-49. Lacey with the 3, the step back, got it! Big shot from Blake Lacey. First lead for Wahoo since the second quarter. Winnebago had opened up an 11-point lead at one time.
Big shot by Lacey. Now, Winnebago just has to stay patient. That's a good look.
And the foul. And that is going to be the 5th foul on Makuntz Little Voice, who had just come back into the game.
Yeah, probably not the shot you would diagram as a coach, but when it goes in, you certainly you cheer. Nice, confident stroke by Lacey, and certainly a difficult foul by Little Voice to foul out, similar to the Lacey foul. Certainly not the one you want to disqualify yourself on. That's Hancock's first point of the game. Wahoo is now 4 of 8 from the free throw line.
3-point lead for the Warriors. Great hustle. Cameron Quick up top defensively there.
Quick does a really nice job in long at the top of that zone, disruptive. Almost got a deflection that would have led to an easy basket, just couldn't corral it. Winnebago did such a good job against the 1-3-1 in the first half of finding baskets in the paint versus depending on the 3. And they kind of stretched it in the third quarter, making four threes early in that third to get Wahoo out of the zone. They need to maintain that poise, and certainly an important possession to cut into this 3-point deficit.
Open look. Just long. Rebound back up strong. Nice job by Lance Denny. Winnebago will take a timeout. Down by 1.
Yeah, Denny does a good job of kind of pinching in on that weak side. 80% of shots come off. Opposite, Denny was prepared for it. You can see him doing his work early, getting the spot carved out, and a nice job of having the touch to use the backboard, and certainly a really big possession to cut the lead to 1.
Let's go down to the floor to Andy Kindy.
Larry, Wahoo going for its 11th state championship. You know that any team that makes it to the finals, they are honored by having a team picture, and it gets hung in the school, right by the gym. The pictures of state championship teams, the picture of the state runner-up teams. They've been to the finals 15 times. However, there's a big difference. The state championship team pictures are about 3 to 4 times bigger than the state runner-up pictures. And talking to Brendan Lacey yesterday, that size disparity is very noticeable to the players. And obviously the Warriors want a big picture hung after this game.
They have the lead, 54-55. 2:15 to go here in this C1 title game. Nice dish to Cam Quick. Put back up Shanahan with the rebound to the bucket.
A nice possession by Wahoo, staying aggressive on the backboard, certainly without little voice. Winnebago doesn't have as much size. Wahoo took advantage of it there. It's a lot of basketball left, 137. Both teams are still going to get to the foul line on a foul.
Tied up, Maurice Scott with a three-pointer.
Scott now with 15, leading scorer for Winnebago. What a great start to 6 games today.
Yeah. Well, last week in the C1 title game to start the day, we had overtime.
And we're well on our way
yes,
to matching that with 56-56 game here.
Take a look at the last 2 buckets.
Yeah, really good job by Cook making that extra pass to Cameron Quick. And then really nice job, as I mentioned, weak side rebounding, so important. Shanahan there for the putback. And then you see Maurice Scott, which was fairly quiet for most of the fourth quarter, but found a way to get the open 3 and knock it in for his 15th point.
Even at 56 here, 1:15 to go. Winnebago won a state championship in 2015. Wahoo won it in 2013. This is the second trip to the finals. Second trip consecutively for Wahoo. Second in 4 years for Winnebago.
And both teams with 2 timeouts. Wahoo's looking to take advantage of one of their post matchups.
Foul will be called on Lance Denny. That'll be Denny's 4th personal foul. And that is a big 4th foul.
A really nice job by Shanahan using Hancock getting in the paint, drawing help.
Leaned backwards, drew the contact.
And then Quick not only get yourself to the foul line, you got to capitalize, and Quick made the first. 2 big free throws, and that's a lot of pressure. A minute to go, tie basketball game. Wahoo's going to stay in there 1-3-1. They're actually backing it up a little bit, trying to make sure they can get out to shooters versus extending, looking for steals.
Long three-pointer off the front of the rim, tipped around, rebound Wahoo. And a quick foul on Cleveland. So that will put the Warriors at the line. And they will shoot 2 now in the double bonus. That's the 10th team foul on Bago.
Lacey has not been to the free throw line in this game. Did hit the big 3 to give Wahoo their first lead. Wahoo had made 4 straight until that miss by Blake Lacey. Certainly big free throw here to put them up 3 versus 2.
Second one knocked in, and a full timeout called by Kevin Sheaf as his club has a 3-point lead with 39.3 to go. So plenty of time here for Winnebago, down by 3. Well, we talked about who's that unsung hero going to be, and for Wahoo, it has been Winston Cook, who has 19 points. Let's take a look at what the 6'4" junior has done here this morning.
Yeah, scored in a lot of different ways. Has used the dribble drive to create his own opportunity, but also has just cut and really done a really good job of being just active on the offensive end. You know, making hard cuts, catching, finishing. Scored a little bit in transition in the first half. But with Lacey, you know, senior being in foul trouble, Wahoo needed another player to step up, and certainly 42 Winston Cook has provided that for them to have them up 3 with a chance to win another state championship.
Those are 19 points off the bench for the Warriors. Winston Cook, first guy off the bench for Wahoo. Big factor here this morning.
Yeah, Winnebago doesn't need a 3 here, 59-56. They have a timeout. They certainly can foul. You just want to get Wahoo goes back to man-to-man.
Three from the top. Big three-pointer knocked down. Montepec Cleveland.
Yeah, clutch shot.
We got the screen set up top for Cleveland, and the leading scorer for the Indians was clutch in a big moment.
Yeah, Coach Chief went man-to-man, I think, to try to avoid giving up maybe an open 3, and really nice job by Maurice Scott. You know, it's going to go unnoticed because he didn't make the shot put. Just pay attention to Scott. He stays in here, screens with his body to give Cleveland the opportunity to get enough space to get off the 3 and then to have the confidence to make it.
All even now at 59. Timeout was called by Kevin Sheaf. That is the final timeout for the Warriors. Bago still has 2 timeouts left. Got a great crowd here this morning for this first state championship game.
Yeah, they've got an exciting finish. So getting up early and getting the PBA is going to pay dividends. But for Wahoo, I think they're going to draw something up to the block here, Larry. I think they feel that's where their advantage is. You certainly don't want to give Winnebago a chance to win the game, so you want to take the last shot here. You want to take it with 3 to 5 seconds and look for an offensive rebound as maybe being the reason why Wahoo might leave here with a victory.
Cook drives in, not there, tipped around, rebound, and Winnebago will take a timeout. 5.8 to go. Knotted at 59. Big rebound there by Maurice Scott. You like the look the Warriors got there.
Yeah, certainly they went to the basket. I think it might have been a touch early if you asked Coach Sheaf, but you want to give your team a chance to get an offensive rebound and put it back in, as a lot of games later decided by that. Winnebago did a really nice job of blocking out. Here's the 3 again from Cleveland to tie the basketball game. Certainly, with 6 seconds to go, Wahoo has to make sure Winnebago catches the basketball going back towards their basket. They don't want them to catch it with momentum, and certainly you don't want to foul. You don't want to put Winnebago on the free throw line, but 6 seconds is a long time. You get a second per dribble, so Winnebago can catch 3/4 court, half court, get a couple dribbles, even make a pass, and certainly they've proven they can make threes. So Scott's made threes. Cleveland just hit a big 3. And LaPointe is one of their leading scorers. So they have a lot of options to go to here. Wahoo need to keep the ball down the sideline, contest without fouling, and I think we're going to see overtime here.
Here we go. 5 seconds to go. The drive by LaPointe. And we're headed to overtime. 59 all, the C1 title game. Heads to overtime between the Wahoo Warriors and the Winnebago Indians. And so we'll head to that overtime. The Warriors will be without their leading scorer, Brendan Lacey. And the big guy inside for the Indians, Lance Denny, in foul trouble. He has 4 personal fouls. And also fouling out for Winnebago is McCoon's Little Voice. So both teams without one of their starters. Let's go down to the floor to Andy.
Thumbing through the nice NSAA game program, I've noticed that this is the first overtime game in Class C1 in 25 years. 1993, Hershey knocked off Lincoln Christian 73-68, but what a way to start the day, the first of 6, and this one gets extra basketball.
So 4 minutes back on the clock for our first overtime period here for the C1 title.
Yeah, we've kind of mentioned Winnebago's lack of depth, really only playing 6 players. Wahoo has only played 7, so certainly I think they've been in close games both, certainly in the semifinals was a close game, so I think they're tired as well. For the team that has a player step up and make some key plays will take home this C1 state title.
Quick shot just off. What a big shot by Montepay Cleveland with under 30 seconds left to tie this game at 59. The big three-pointer from the top.
Wahoo's going to go back to their 1-3-1, which they finished most of the fourth quarter in, with the exception of the last possession.
The foul will be, they'll call it on Shanahan. Yep. Nope. They'll call it on Winston Cook.
Both teams are in the double bonus the remainder of the first overtime. Devon LaPointe, such a really crafty guard, has been able to get into the paint against Wahoo's man-to-man, and then found a little gap in the 1-3-1, which is hard to do. 1-3-1 tends to prevent a lot of penetration, but give LaPointe credit. Found a way to get there, and 13 assists on the day. So not only has he used penetration to score or get fouled himself, he's found teammates.
Missed both free throws. They got the rebound, strong to the basket, but couldn't get it to go on the shot by Eddie Payer. There's Cook with it. Quick spin move. Still no score here in this overtime.
Yeah, both teams have really competed offensively. They've struggled a little bit. Winnebago was only 7 of 24 from the 3, while Wahoo's 3 of 17. So certainly not a great shooting night, but
great pass. Nice cut. Cleveland to the basket. LaPointe breaks the pressure.
Full step up for Wahoo with leading scorer Lacey on the bench.
Now Lacey. Blake Lacey with the big three-pointer. That'll give the Warriors the lead.
That's 2 times he's hit big threes, gave them their first lead in the fourth quarter, and then give them a lead in overtime. A lot of confidence to take and make that shot.
Foul called on Billy Hancock. Hancock picks up his 4th personal foul, and that will put LaPointe at the line to shoot 2. In the double bonus, both teams. And this time, LaPointe knocks it down.
His 13th attempt, now 8 of 13. We see a nice job by Will Shanahan screen, giving Lacey a little space to get that off.
Foul will be called on LaPointe. That will put Hancock at the line.
Yeah, Winnebago's not in real foul trouble with the exception of Denny. Denny 33 has 4. Certainly that could change the game, taking the other Winnebago post off the floor. For Wahoo, Cook 42 has 4 fouls, and Hancock at the line currently making the first has 4. So foul trouble could play out, especially if we extend and go longer than just 1 overtime.
Right.
Which has been done so far in this state tournament. It's been a triple overtime game, a double overtime game.
We've had some terrific games right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. That first day of Class A was remarkable. Loose ball. And the foul will be called on Eddie Payer. Payer picks up his third foul. Back to the line to shoot two go the Warriors. And Hancock back again. Hancock 5 of 5 from the line.
Hancock has struggled from the field, but give him credit now, 6 of 6.
Yeah. Knocked down all of his free throws.
4 big ones in overtime to give Wahoo the 3-point lead.
From the corner, 3. Big three-pointer. Maurice Scott, all even at 66. Boy, when Winnebago has had to have a big shot, they've gotten it. Good, strong move by Quick. Timeout called by Barrage just as that ball was about to be turned over.
Yeah, nice job by Cleveland making that extra pass to Scott, which has had a huge state championship game with 18 points. And you see Lacey not only hitting the big three, you know, certainly not, don't jump the pass, but was able to stay elevated long enough to find that player. And, you know, nice job by Lacey using the dribble drive to create an opportunity for a teammate. That bucket is where we're at right now, 68-66 Wahoo.
Well, you can keep a memory of a lifetime when you purchase a DVD copy of the NSAA Basketball Championships, just $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 800-868-1868 to order, or just go online, nat-nebraska.org/sports. So 33-7 here left. They go down by 2, 68-66.
Now Wahoo needs to do a really good job of containing LaPointe's penetration. He's been able to drive these gaps around the top of the key to find opportunities.
Double dribble called on LaPointe.
Well, Winnebago is going to have to extend here, look for a steal early, and then probably foul. Wahoo will be in the double bonus.
Back in for Wahoo comes Dylan Egger. He'll come in for Cook.
That's where scouting is so important. You know, who does Wahoo want handling the basketball? Who does Winnebago want to trap or foul? Hancock 6 out of 6 from the line, so certainly Wahoo would like to see him get it. Unfortunately, they fouled Lacey before they could get it to Hancock. Lacey 1 of 2 the last and only time he was at the free throw line. Certainly knows he's a confident player. Those 2 threes he's hit in this game have been big shots.
Very confident free throw there from Blake Lacey.
Winnebago does have a timeout here, so look for them to probably take it out, push, try to get a quick score if Lacey makes. If not, they're going to have to look for a quick 2 or 3 and then get a timeout.
Three on the way from Payer is off. Payer with the rebound. Cleveland 3 won't be good. Time ticking away, 1.2, and that will just about do it. And now to inbound, and that's it. Runner-up last year, they return and take home the state championship to Wahoo. What a season for the Warriors. They finish at 27-2. And in overtime, 70-66, the Warriors are state champs. When we come back, medal and trophy presentations for the champs and the runners-up right here on NAT Sports.
With the Aurora Cooperative, you have a trusted partner who looks well beyond the horizon. We're putting our owner's equity to work every day by anticipating what you'll need tomorrow, creating what's next for your farm. A portfolio of innovation that supports every aspect of your operation, and an unwavering commitment to your success, however you measure it.
My farm, my cooperative, my future.
The Aurora Cooperative.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit. That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Boys Basketball Championships on NAT is made possible in part by Education Quest, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Nebraska Public Power District, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. What a great finish in Class C1 between Wahoo and Winnebago. It goes to overtime, and the Warriors come out on top 70-66. The net's coming down. The trophies will soon go up, and for that, let's go to our public address announcer, Heath Kramer.
The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director, Dr. Jim Tennefer, NSAA Board of Directors, Jay Beller from Battle Creek, and Nolan Meyer from Millard Public Schools, and U.S. Bank Representative Jeff McEwen. Here are the awards for runner-up, Winnebago High School. Head coach Jeff Barrage and his assistants will present the silver medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Jariah Grayow. Edward Payer. Lord Carnes. Jarias Bass. Bruce Proctor. William Widget. And to the seniors, Bear Kennedy. Caden Cleveland. Maurice Scott. Devon Lapointe. Makuts Little Voice. Manape Cleveland. And Lance Denny. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class C1 State Basketball Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Winnebago High School. to the champions, the Wahoo Warriors. Head coach Kevin Sheaf, we have a special award for you. Coach Sheaf and his assistants will present the gold medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Trevin Lubin. Blake Lacey. Trey Sheaf. Gerardo Chavez Madrid. Thomas Wado. Carson Hesser. Nick Oden. Winston Cook. And to the seniors, Cade Felix. Billy Hancock. Will Shanahan. Brendan Lacey. Cameron Quick. And Dylan Egger. Presenting the championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance, Chairman, President, and CEO, Mark Walls. And for these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class C1 State Basketball Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Wahoo High School.
Well, big moments down the stretch by the Warriors, knocked down some big shots, and they win this Class C1 title 70-66. Jeff Barrett just backstage with Andy Kindy.
Well, Coach, not the result I know that you wanted, but what do you think was the difference in that game? You were up 11 mid-third quarter, and Wahoo made a run. You knew they would.
Yeah, man, just a game of runs, and they made a big run, and we couldn't answer their run. So, but at the end of the day, if we make free throws, it's a totally different game. So. Yeah,
you did struggle at the line at times, but to get it to overtime, your kids made some big shots just to put yourself in position. How proud of you of them are you?
I'm very proud of them. We knew coming into the seasons that we were gonna have a lot of doubters, and they proved people wrong today that Winnebago still lives after David, so I'm just proud of them, the hard work they put in all year long.
Yeah, Coach referring to David Winget, the star player. What does this say about your team in terms of the look back on the journey that you had just to get here? I know it doesn't feel good now, but when you look back and think about the 17-18 Indians, what will you think about the most?
Just their heart they've showed. Like you said, they could have gave up when Wahoo took the lead, but they fought back and we made big shots. And I'm just proud of them, the effort they put in, the heart they put in, and what they showed on the court today.
Terrific season nonetheless. The Winnebago Indians finished at 22-7, and the C1 runner-up. We will hear from the champions, the Wahoo Warriors, straight ahead from Pinnacle Bank Arena.
FFA's vision is to build leaders, grow communities, and strengthen agriculture. The funds from Constellation will most likely be directed to one of those areas. But most importantly, people need to know that it is at the local level. It's helping local chapters.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Are you cool to flex fuel? 1 in 7 Nebraskans is driving a flex fuel vehicle, and many don't even realize it. With a flex fuel vehicle, you can fill up with any blend of American ethanol and gasoline, from E10 to E15, from E30 to E85, at any time in any amount. Look for an insignia on your trunk or tailgate. You might have a yellow gas cap, or check your owner's manual. If you're cool to flex fuel, then look for a flex fuel pump in your neighborhood. Flex fuel blends with American ethanol.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Boys Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Aurora Cooperative, Constellation, Nebraska Corn Board, Doane University, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena, 70-66 in overtime is the final. The Warriors come out on top of Winnebago. Second consecutive year into the state championship game for Wahoo, and they win it the second time. Here's a look at the final numbers. And there you go. Oh, okay, we get one more look at it. I thought maybe that was it.
Yeah, I thought both teams really settled in the second half and played better offense. You look at Winnebago now, or finished 8 of 27 from the three-point line. Coach Berridge mentioned it. You know, certainly 10 of 18 left some points there, which could have been the difference in the game. But both teams rebounded really well. Both teams found ways to score in the point, or in the paint, excuse me. And then I thought Wahoo had a little bit of an advantage with their depth on the bench, 31 points, and then certainly the rebounding battle kind of stretched from where it was at in halftime, and the combination of a couple of those things with the difference in a very close game.
Yep, 31 bench points for Wahoo, 19 of those coming from Cam Quick, who had check that, from Winston Cook, who had a big game, and we'll hear from the champs when we come back at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Not just on the good days, not just on the challenging ones, not just during business hours or when relaxing, but always. For the past 125 years, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Don't be in a hurry when it flurries. The roads are not fit to drive. Tires will slip and lose their grip. You'll be lucky to make it alive. Don't be in a hurry when it flurries. Best to leave home prepared. Look at all the snow and watch it blow. I wouldn't go out if you dared. Don't be in a hurry when it flurries. You should have checked 511. Look out now, here comes a plow. You're gonna be late anyhow. Don't be in a hurry when it flurries. It would be better not to go out alone. All of this ice is not so nice. Next time, better stay home.
Wahoo, your state champions in Class C1, 70-66 in overtime against the Winnebago Indians. Joined now by the winning head coach, Kevin Chief. Coach, let's talk about the game itself. You guys didn't look good. And in the mid-third quarter, things didn't look good because you were down double digits at down 11 points. What did you say to your team to kind of calm the nerves and then make that big run?
Well, you're right. It wasn't looking good. You know, we just talked about just trying to get shots at the rim. We thought if we could be patient and get great ball movement, we could attack the rim. And boy, Winston Cook, what a second half he had. He got us back in it with some great drives to the rim, and it was an amazing game. It was a classic, and my hat's off to Winnebago. It's the third time in 4 years we've played them at state. Second year in a row. It's just been an amazing game, and they've got a great team. It was a great championship game. I don't know if you can ask for anything more than that. And
you really got some major contributions. You mentioned it with Cook off the bench, but as a team, this was a team win, wasn't it? Not
absolutely. You know, we felt all year long we got 7 starters, and Blake Lacey, his 2 threes he hit were just huge. You know, we don't win this game without him. So, you know, that's been our story all year. Is we've had different guys step up at different times, and we did again today.
Such a storied history in Wahoo. This is now championship number 11. It moves you into 4th place, sole possession of all time. Nebraska State history. What does this one mean to you?
You know, it's very special. I mean, we're very proud of our tradition, the tradition that Coach Anderson started and Coach Watton carried on, and you know, we're just trying not to screw things up and try to keep things going a little bit. So
the beat goes on for the Wahoo Warriors. It's championship number 11. We're going to hear from a couple of the Warrior players straight ahead as Wahoo C1 state champs.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Methodist College is small and the faculty is very involved. I feel that they care about how I'm doing.
Nebraska Methodist put clinical work right there with the schoolwork. I knew I was going to be helping patients even during school.
Since starting Nebraska Methodist College, I have learned a lot about myself. I love to learn and I want to keep progressing and make an impact on patients.
Wahoo, your champions in Class C1. The Warriors beat Winnebago 70-66. Let's meet some of the winning players. Let's start out with senior Blake Lacey. Blake, I got to first ask you about your two big three-pointers. What's going through your head when you get the ball and you step up to make those threes?
Just all the work I've put in, mornings, every morning that I've been up, all that came true or happened. Oh, frick.
No, you're good. Stay with me here, bud. We're good. Take a deep breath. There we go. See it playing out there. Is it playing out there is easy. This interview stuff is for the birds. All right.
Not my job.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're doing good. Hey, so what what did you think in overtime? They push it to overtime. You have to regroup and collect yourself. So how were you able to manage to stay together?
I just took a deep breath, told the team, we got this. It's ours, and we did it.
What does this mean to you to hold that state championship trophy and win a state championship with some of your best buds?
I've dreamed about playing in this since I was a kid, and for it to come true, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That's incredible. Congratulations. Now let's hand it off to Cameron Quick, a senior, 14 points, 10 rebounds, double-double for you, sir. Man, you guys are down 11 points in the third quarter, and are you thinking this may not be the Warriors' day?
No, never once. Doubt went through my mind. We've been in that position a lot, even last year when we played Winnebago. I just knew one of these times we were going to start bringing it back slowly. It wasn't going to happen all at once, and that's what we did. We were just calm and collected.
You've come close in recent years. Why this year? Why is this year different?
I think we were very driven. Us 5 and 6 seniors, we all grew up playing with each other, playing against each other, and we just wanted it bad. So we worked in the off-season. That's just what we did, and we got done.
Well, it's a dream come true. Congratulations. Let's hand off the trophy to Winston Cook. What a spark this kid was. A junior, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Big fella, what was the key to your game today?
To stay focused and help my team win.
Are you a morning guy?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. I don't know.
It really, your play was the key to your comeback, in my opinion. You guys really made a concerted effort to pound the ball inside when you were down double digits, did you not?
Yeah, I'm really good at taking the ball to the basket, and that's what we did.
What does this mean to win the state championship? You have the gold medal around your neck. You got a piece of the net in your hand. You won it with a couple of your best buddies to continue the tradition in Wahoo. How proud of you are you of that fact?
I'm just super happy that we won it. It's always been a dream of mine, and I'm happy to win it for the seniors.
Well, congratulations. Winston Cook, 19 points. The Wahoo Warriors, your state champions for the 11th time, their first title since 2013, knocking off Winnebago in the first state championship game here in Lincoln.
Participating in Nebraska high school activities has taught me about teamwork.
I've learned how to lead among my peers.
At my high school, I have set goals and I work hard to accomplish them.
I like to run on my cross country team. It makes me feel good about myself.
The Nebraska School Activities Association, providing opportunities in 25 activities in our 303 high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
In celebration of 50 years of Mr. Rogers and his continuing legacy of Daniel Tiger's neighborhood, NET invites you to create a community of kindness in Nebraska. On Tuesday, March 20th, NET is celebrating our first ever Be My Neighbor Day.
There are lots of helpers in the neighborhood.
Visit netnebraska.org/neighbor for ideas, plus activity sheets to download. Then share your neighborly photos with us on social media.
Being a Globetrotter, you get to bring a whole family together. PBS gives your kids and your family a little foundation. With Arthur, you're able to relate to some of the messages as far as going to school, interacting with other kids, how to handle a bully. PBS is going to help your kids grow. I'd rather my kids get that experience from something that I trust that I grew up on, like PBS.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Boys Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Education Quest, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Nebraska Public Power District, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena as we wrap up the Class C1 State Championship, which went into overtime. Wahoo winning at 70-66 over Winnebago. The Winnebago Indians finished the year 20-6, and maybe we'll start there by taking a look at highlights late in the fourth. And this is a tight game down the stretch. Obviously went into overtime, but talk about the big shots that happened late from Brendan Lacey. Blake Lacey, sorry about that. And that was a big shot as well, down by 3, right at the end of regulation, 30 seconds left. That with a chance to win it in regulation. Did not, so we go to overtime. And once again, Blake Lacey with some big three-pointers late in the fourth and also in overtime. That kept it close. Maurice Scott led Winnebago with 18 points. And Winnebago finishes second. Wahoo wins its first state championship in 4 years and the 11th overall in program history. So I want to remind you, this is what's coming up in Class D1. It's the Blue Devils of Kennesaw and the Knights of Lourdes Central Catholic, the Class D1 title, on the line from right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Kennesaw looking to complete an undefeated season. They are 28-0, have not lost this year, but they will be taking on the two-time defending champion Lourdes Central Catholic Knights. That's coming up next in the D1 title. Well, next month on NET, Backyard Farmer returns for its 66th year of helping you find solutions to your lawn and garden questions. From spring to fall, the Backyard Farmer specialists will tackle topics from pets and diseases to fruits and vegetables, as well as wildlife and weeds. Backyard Farmer begins Thursday, April 5th, 7 Central on NET. Andy, one last thought on that C1 title game, the finish for Wahoo?
Yeah, just gritty. You have to give Wahoo a lot of credit. A team that lost in the state championship a year ago was down by 11. We're down by 11 in this game. Just to have the grit and the fight to battle, and then you got to give Winnebago credit to stay in there. A team that did not play a lot of players in the state tournament to take the #1 team Wahoo into overtime. Fantastic start to what I hope to be a fantastic day with 5 more to go.
Just 4.5 minutes until we tip off the Class D1 state championship. That'll be right back here on NET.